Welcome to yet another episode of Tezos Builders. In this episode, I am joined by Bernd from Tezsure. He is the co-founder of Tezsure and the director of Tezos India Foundation. Before I move forward, just want to let you know that I am making these videos just for education and awareness purpose around the Tezos blockchain, and this should not be taken as a financial advice. And one more thing, I'm not being paid or sponsored by Tezos or any other project for making these videos. So if you guys like my work and want to donate some Tezos, you have my address in the description. So let's welcome Bernd to the show. Thank you, Bernd, for taking out your time and joining this call.
Thank you for having me, man. Super excited to be here.
Yeah, so tell me about your background. How did you get into Tezos, and in particular, how did you start this application, this project, Tezsure?
So I used to work at a big insurance company in the Netherlands. And I was their lead blockchain architect and developer. And during my time there, we did cool blockchain projects, so it was nice. But every time we came close to production, higher level management would say that we're an insurance company and not a tech company. And they even told me, if you want to innovate, you should go to Silicon Valley. So that's what I did. I went to Silicon Valley. But before that, before I joined even the insurance company to work there, I was a blockchain enthusiast. I started off with Bitcoin, of course, like many of us. And when Ethereum came, I became really excited because I have a background as a software engineer. So I could now finally build stuff on the blockchain. But there was an event in 2017 on Ethereum. It was the first ICO. And that first ICO, the contract was not programmed very well and it got hacked. So at that moment I lost all my faith in Ethereum and I was looking for an alternative. And I found Tezos. And I saw that Tezos had this big investor in it named Tim Draper. And fast forward back to when I wanted to go to Silicon Valley. I found out that Tim Draper had this pre-acceleration program or entrepreneurship training in Silicon Valley. So I learned about Tim Draper through Tezos, and then after my adventure at the insurance company, I went to Silicon Valley to join an entrepreneurship training by Tim Draper. And there, during that program, I met my co-founder, Maltia, and together we came up with the idea of Tezsure.
Awesome, great. So yeah, so Tim Draper for me also was the key reason to invest in Tezos ICO, and then at that point of time I have not researched deeply in Tezos, and then moving on I started looking more into Tezos, and So let's talk about Tezsure. So what is Tezsure? What is the product? And just explain in detail.
Yeah, so during my time in the insurance company, I already saw all these problems in traditional insurance. And during my time in Silicon Valley, we, together with Ohm, we analyzed the insurance industry. And it's so old-fashioned and so ripe for disruption. So we had already a really big problem that we could solve, and that's always a good thing to have, a problem to solve if you're doing a startup. So our solution to all these problems in the insurance industry is an insurance platform where we enable users to create insurance products in a peer-to-peer manner. And blockchain enables that. And on the other hand, for risk analysis and claim verification, we use machine learning. So we use best of both worlds from machine learning and blockchain to create a platform that gives users tools to create the products they need.
Yeah. So in real world, is it practical to have an insurance on blockchain? because there is risk analysis, there is claim approval and all that. So
I don't talk too much about blockchain in our platform because mainstream users don't really care about blockchain. They don't care at all.
Absolutely,
They don't care about machine learning. They just want something that's cheap, secure, and it works well. So, talking about blockchain is something I only do with people like you and other enthusiasts in the industry, but I try to discuss this kind of business model with non-technical people as well a lot. So traditional insurance people.
Yeah.
Because it's really important to get their input on this as well, because they have a lot of knowledge. We should not underestimate that. So we really feel that if we can combine the strengths of us, very core technical team, and insurance knowledge, we can build something really amazing.
Yeah, so if I talk about the insurance products, I've seen on your website there are, I think, 3-4 insurance you are trying to, I think, launch initially, like travel insurance, and there was crypto wallet insurance and phone damage insurance. So so let's say if I have to insure my let's say crypto wallet, so will that be pretty easy for non-technical person if they go to your platform? How they can do that? I mean, what will be the process?
Yeah, this is already a product that's very specific on blockchain and crypto. And if we create these products, then we become an insurance company. That's something we learned in the last 6 months, is that if we only provide the tools for people to create products, we are not an insurance company. But if we create the products like we just described, we become an insurance company and we have to comply to a huge amount of rules. So preferably we want to have products that are created by the community itself. And on the other hand, for those specific products, that could be on our website, before people create products, we want to work together with insurance companies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so if I talk about this industry, it's again $1 trillion industry, and the traditional companies are making money for sure. So how you're going to compete with them? Like we have big giants like AIA, and here in India we have LIC against big company. So how you going to take the competition?
Yeah, that's a great question. I don't think we can survive if we want to compete with them. So we're not going to compete with them. It would not make sense because they would destroy us, literally, if we become a threat. So the initial strategy was to create these small products that they're not even into because the margins are too small and it's not the market is not big enough for them. But during our time in the incubator in Switzerland, in the Crypto Valley, this summer, we also wanted to explore B2B. We wanted to explore more how can we work together with insurance companies to, just as I said before, use our tech skills and insurance knowledge of insurance companies to create something together and not compete per se. So we're now talking with multiple insurance companies to find ways to fit pieces of our architecture in their business solutions. Because in the end, you can accomplish a lot more if you work together instead of fighting.
Yeah, so you'll work with them and you can have some sort of partnership, and we'll try to be
it makes a lot more sense to use their resources.
Yeah,
because they have a lot of resources.
Yeah, they have been into this industry for many decades, so yeah, that makes sense.
Hundreds of years.
Yeah, absolutely. So so how did you raise the fund? Did you do any ICO for your project?
At the beginning of Tezsure, we thought, okay, how can we raise money? How can we start building our company. But we already had some funds from ourselves, so we didn't need funding right away. So we just started out, and along the way, we found out it doesn't make sense at all to introduce a token or do an ICO or an STO. All the regulations continuously changing all around the world. So we took a more traditional route, something that other blockchain and crypto startups usually don't follow. We did traditional equity funding. So we tried to raise money from VCs. It was quite a challenge. Owen and I lived in India for 5 months in a small room with 2 beds in it. That was quite the adventure in a very dirty office with rodents in it, and pitching every night, every day to VCs from all over the world to just get some seed investment. And we were almost had no money anymore. And then Draper New Ventures, one of Tim Draper's funds, saw something in us and wanted to invest. So then we were saved.
Yeah, that's again a big thing, if Draper's fund is investing in you and providing this funding. It's
very funny because I just told you at the beginning of this podcast that I started with and I found Tim Draper through Tezos, and I went to Silicon Valley, joined this entrepreneurship training, then started a company building on top of Tezos, and now it's funded by Tim Draper, so everything became nice, full circle.
Yeah. So let's talk about the Tezos token XTZ. So what does this mean to the Tezos currency? So on your platform, if somebody has to buy an insurance, can they use Tezos as a currency?
Yeah, of course. And it would make sense to make stuff cheaper if you use Tez. And of course, we want to enable people to pay with anything they want. Mm-hmm. That's why we're also working with AirGap, for example, to introduce a multi-currency crypto wallet. But in the end, we also want people to be able to pay with fiat. Or, we don't know how the market looks like in 2 to 3 years. Maybe everybody has crypto by then. I don't know. But we want to make it as easy as possible for average users to use our platform. Because that's the end goal. And if they all want to use Tez, that's amazing.
For me, this is very important thing, because in Tezos we don't have many useless tokens, and on all the the application which are being built, I think we are going to use Tezos. So that creates demand and value for the Tezos as a currency, XTZ. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's I think is the most interesting thing. Yeah,
definitely, because we also want to use it in our smart contracts. We will store Tez in smart contracts. It doesn't mean we will store BTC, so we'll need to convert it. So it will be more expensive to pay with BTC or USDT. So it would make sense for people to use Tez.
I can see one more emerging use case of insurance. We have now decentralized finance. We have DAI, that is again a multi-collateral loan, and you can lend your DAI or you can borrow DAI. So on other day I was looking at the DAI, and there is an option of insurance. So if you're locking your DAI, let's say you have large chunk of DAI, let's say 1 million or 2 million. So you cannot trust the smart contract, right? You should have extra layer of security. So can we see some sort of use case around Tezsure in that sense?
You mean with that there is not only reliance on smart contracts in here?
Yeah, so I mean to say, we lock DAI in smart contract, we lend and we get, let's say, 10%, 11% annual return. So what happens in investors' mind, if they have large chunk of DAI, they have 1% doubt in smart contract. There could be some bug, some technical glitch, and their money can be wiped out, right? So there is an insurance for the decentralized finance. So I was looking, I mean, I heard it, I saw somewhere there is some insurance element into it. So if you just take the insurance for your DAI that you're lending, you have some sort of margin of safety.
Interesting, but it's a very specific.
I mean, insurance. You are insuring, let's say, your smart contract. Yeah.
You're insuring a smart contract.
Yeah.
You have something like that on Ethereum already.
Yeah, we have something like that in Ethereum. I have seen somewhere. Yeah.
This is Mutual, it's called. It's a really cool project. Definitely check it out.
Yeah, so let's say you have 10% annual return. You can just, give up on 1% to the insurance company. You just get 9%, but with safety. So yeah, that is my point. Yeah.
Yeah, but then the question comes: how do you do the risk analysis?
Yeah, that is, again, I have to look into that. But that's very interesting use case, because going forward we'll have more dominance of decentralized finance, because these products are, people are using it. In fact, I have taken some loan through DeFi, through some DAI. So yeah, going forward in next 2-3 years we'll have more and more dominance of DeFi. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree. But for insurance, I think that the shift from the big institutions to decentralization is going to take a long time, and those big players are not going to go away. They will adapt, and the companies that don't adapt will disappear. But I think there's still a place for those big institutions in decentralized finance, because, just as I said, there's now, how do you do the risk analysis? They are specialists in that, doing risk analysis, insurance companies. But over time, with our platform, we want to automate risk analysis with machine learning. So over time, when we have more products and we create more products that have more users, our risk analysis will grow exponentially compared to traditional insurance companies. So in the future, it might be possible that we get better in that.
No, I just had this raw thought, if you can have some sort of integration here in Tezsure, maybe on Tezos, because this DeFi thing is continuously growing at rapid pace. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. But still, it's a question of how do these companies make money, these decentralized companies.
So that they do get some, commission. Let's say in DAI you get 10% if you're not taking an insurance. So you just have to give up on 1%. That you give 1% to that insurance company, and they get the profit out of it. So this is how it works. I have to research in detail, but yeah, this is there. Yeah. So let me ask you this. So why did you choose Tezos, to build this product? Any particular reason for that?
Yeah, so I was big on Ethereum a while back. I participated in the first ICO, and then it went all downhill from there. They hard forked. The contract was drained. Their immutability selling point was gone. So yeah, I was looking for an alternative, and then I came across Tezos, and that white paper was released years before that. And everything that happened to Ethereum was predicted already in those papers, in the white paper and position paper. So I thought, okay, this is interesting. Let me look into this more. So the ICO came, I participated, and I knew if I want to do a blockchain project, I want to do it on Tezos, and here's why. If you want to create secure smart contracts. So just not like the one on Ethereum. You need to have some mechanism in place to make sure your contract does exactly what it needs to do. And Tezos has that in the form of enabling formal verification of their lower level language. And I don't want to dive too deep into technicalities because it's still a podcast.
Yeah, so I want to make it short.
More security through your smart contracts if you develop your contracts on Tezos. So I would advise anyone that's listening to this podcast and who's trying to build serious financial products on blockchain, look into Tezos, because it makes a lot of sense to develop these products on Tezos. Other blockchains have their own specific niche, I think, as well, but Tezos really has their strength in their security of their smart contracts, I think.
Awesome. So according to you, what would be the inflection point for Tezos, to drive the adoption like Ethereum had in 2017 in form of fundraising use case, and now they are slowly catching up on DeFi. So what would be the secret sauce for Tezos?
I don't think that the ICO boom was such an amazing use case to have.
But still, there were many companies, able to raise the fund, and they built a product, right? 90% of them are scams. They ran away with the money, but still we got few, good projects out of the ICO mania.
It didn't help with adoption, though. It didn't help with adoption. It only made people more wary about cryptocurrencies, and people still think Bitcoin is a scam and all that stuff. So I don't think it really helped with mainstream adoption. It attracted a lot of talent, I think. Mm-hmm. But there's still so much tribalism, and the industry is still so immature. So I don't think that boom was.
So what do you think about the tokenization? Because in Tezos, people are crazy about the STOs, and they think that Tezos is going to be the leader of tokenization. So what's your thought on that?
I think it's a huge use case, definitely, and to get these big players in, it's a good point to make, because Ethereum is really all about decentralization, taking all the power away from big institutions and decentralize everything. But that's not going to work. It's not the real world. That's not the world we live in. Big institutions will exist, and they want to go to a digital first infrastructure, and also the big stock exchanges, and they want to tokenize their assets. So what would be the best architecture for them to do this? And then again, they will ask the same questions as I did. What is the most secure platform? Where will my contracts not get hacked? And maybe the decentralization is also a question they ask. And then you come out, and the answer is Tezos.
Yeah.
You ask those questions.
Yeah.
So for those real life use cases of tokenizing assets and tokenizing real estate, the bridge between the real world and the old world, that's where big money can be made, and where a lot of innovation can still happen, because that's the big part of our entire world is not fully digitized yet.
Yeah, absolutely. So STOs are still in very, very early phase, but when it comes to Tezos, I think Tezos have got an upper hand. They have secured, I think, 2 or 3 billion worth of tokenization on Tezos blockchain. So it's very interesting to see how these things, will shape up.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the bakery. So I've heard that you're planning to open up your own bakery. So yeah.
So I had a few discussions with people in the ecosystem about this, and we feel that if you are an active participant or you want to play a role in this ecosystem, you should run a validator. So that's what we want to do. We want to set up our own bakery and maybe even incorporate it into our architecture of the insurance platform, where we delegate all the smaller insurance products to our own bakery to earn to earn rewards in that way. So we are trying to find a business model that's never been possible before, but that only Tezos can enable. And I think then, if we do that, we are the strongest.
Awesome. I think even I have thought many times to open up to start my own bakery, but I don't get a lot of time, and so again it's a future plan, but for now I'm delegating, and I look forward for your bakery. So I think I'm running out of questions. So any last thought you have? Anything you want to say?
So we are setting up our we already set up our dev team in India, and we really feel that there is a huge opportunity coming out of India. We probably feel the same, and I'm super excited to be more in India and share more about Tezos and Tezsure in India. And I think these kind of initiatives, a podcast that's more focused towards India is really helpful to grow the ecosystem in India. Because I really feel that in India you should not really hammer too much on specific blockchains too much, or even worldwide. It's more about getting people interested into blockchain in general, and then eventually they will come to Tezos by doing their own research. So thank you for having me.
Thank you very much for spending your valuable time with me. Have a great day. I look forward to see you again. Thank you.
Thanks, man. Bye.